Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Thank you, because I don't have any more health items to deal with that fucking chair. Alright, I opened the door as you asked. Let's discuss the murder.
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
Truthfully, no.
There is no way to sway this man in any direction. He is unsuggestible and unswayable. Just tell the truth.
Deal wasn't for me to go inside, so I didn't. Yet.
You're right, Harry. You only had to unlock the door.
You only had to blow the bloody doors off.
So we're all good here.
He was testing
Yeah,
you.
told you he'd be
and you
watching.
succeeded.
He'd have had somebody watching us.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
This gonna be good. Heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike. Let's hear what you know about it.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
Listening.
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire? I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
You have a village elephant?
No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real.
Ah, go on.
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
Oh my god. I mean, I can imagine, like, you know, they move the container.
Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it.
Maybe we should.
But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
They're not even denying it. That's the thing about this, right? So the whole neighborhood was in on it. Yeah, I've noticed that as well. He's not speaking to Kim at all. He's only speaking to us. It's like Kim isn't there. So the whole neighborhood's on it?
Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base.
And who did the pushing this time?
There's a militant wing inside the Union.
Hardy
a group
boys.
of people whose duties don't involve
We know.
manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
Yeah.
They're like you guys.
But it sounds like
Idealistic
organized
people
crime.
who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
Yep.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land."
He said it exactly like that, did he?
He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
Despite his boastful tone, he's having doubts about something. But what? Maybe he doesn't believe the boys really had it in them. They're his boys, after all.
Yeah, they were being pushed into this by the drug trade woman, right? And maybe they're involved with that and he's not. So they came to him like, yeah, so, yeah, he just raped this girl, so we killed him. You never know. I think you're sharing information with the police because you don't think they actually did it.
That's very clever, Harry. Yes, they might have said it just to impress some girls or something. But Titus has a bad temper, so the chances are 50-50.
He thinks it's closer to 60-40. 60, they didn't do it.
How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company?
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
See, that is exactly what I was saying before as well, if you remember. Like on a previous stream, I said maybe the scabs were brought in by the security company or by the Pines company, you know? The name of the company is Crenell this time. It might have been Sediment before.
Of course. You're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me.
Yeah, he already knew. The remaining mercenaries are organizing a tribunal to take on the Hardys. I'm going to tell him this.
Tribunal? That sounds serious, Harry. We Union men should be shitting ourselves. I wish you hadn't told me that. I'm gonna lose sleep over this. Let's change the subject.
Yeah, again, he probably knew.
He's clearly happy about the tribunal.
Yeah, that as well, because it gives them a chance to fight. It gives them all the excuse they need. They don't seem worried about it.
Oh, Harry, what do I really think about the tribunal? You're trying to climb to second base with old Everard before you've even courted him properly.
He wants you to do more things for him before.
You mentioned the lawyer girl?
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Tell me about Titus Hardy and his crew.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets.
I met the Hardys. Can you ask them to cooperate with me?
But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
Ooh. Right, take it.
The lieutenant watches you pocket the banknote. He looks a little puzzled.
Like, dude, did you just take money from this guy? Yes.
How many micro bribes would this guy take?
They all add up, okay? It's like, you know, somebody giving bits to their favorite streamer. It all adds up. Anyway.
Good boy.
Terrible
a
sellout.
real team player. Now, do you have any more questions?
Let's conclude for now.
Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike.
I know what he wants to achieve. He wants a fight. Alchemist! Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. How's it going, Alchemist? You know, funny, this morning I was just thinking about you, dude. You know, not in a weird way. I was just thinking I should probably poke you and see if you're still alive. I can't remember the last time you popped in the stream. How's it been, dude? Good to see ya. When I suddenly thought I'm a bit worried now. Is he alright? Thought maybe you might have caught the plague, you know.
I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet.
Yet. Can't be bribed if you hate the guy who's bribing you. Exactly, Zaras, yeah. At that point, you're just seizing whatever he's holding out. That's exactly what I did. I'm like, he's gonna give me money, I'm gonna take that money. Fuck him, you know. Been having some bad mental days, just kind of stayed away. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. I hope they're getting a little brighter for you now. Really am. But it's good to see you.
Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left.
All the virtual
I
hugs.
want to, but I just can't.
Dude, I've got like, what is it now? Where is it? 18 points in communist, I'll have him know.
A man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past.
Aw.
By men who aren't social democrats.
Oh, he's not ready to get hurt again. He doesn't want to put his heart on the line. Oh no. You're right not to trust me. I take care of me. I'm a hustler. I grind. I'm a money engineer. Not really getting better, but I have a new direction that I'll probably abandon after a while. A new distraction that I'll probably abandon after a while. Oh, really? Well, I mean, dude, if you ever need to talk, you know where we are. But by all means, you know, you just look after yourself. That's the main thing. Nothing wrong with that at all. Right, so what's that supposed to mean? I'm more left than you are. I mean, I don't even know if that's strictly true. When you look at this guy, if you were to slice him in half down the middle, his entire left side is like my entire body anyway, so I don't know. This is another corrupt scheme. I'm neither left nor right. I do what my heart tells me to do. No, it's like, dude, I am on the left. I'm more left than you are.
You're saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is, company snitches, agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded in this fortress of mine, and I need to get a message out. Will you help me?
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
Kim, what do you think?
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to leave this to you. I'm going to let you burn on. Have you noticed? Every time we do something good, he puts it in his notebook like it was his idea. And then every time we have something like this, he's like, I'll leave this up to you. Thanks, Kim.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm going to hand you the keys to Martinez. And maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
What are the signatures for?
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates.
Oh no. Oh god. Fucking Kuno on roller skates? What the fuck? Kuno doesn't give a fuck about roller skates. Fucking Kuno. Gonna get him on roller skate. Kuno on roller skates. Can you imagine, guys? Holy shit.
There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
So we're basically just canvassing for him. Where is this place exactly?
On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff. There's a pair of cavalry boots under the fish in the box, and the wind howls like a vicious spirit.
What will happen to the current occupants?
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Oh, I'm sure they'll love that. I can't see why anyone would object.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Are you sure they're not gonna end up homeless?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour.
I think if you do this, that value is gonna go down, not up. Like, oh yeah, everybody's gonna want to move into a house right next to a youth center. Yes. Fantastic.
He means it.
Wait till you see the town. Oh boy. I think we can get across the harbor tomorrow, because the water lock we should be able to open it or something. So this is good. We will have to work on this the next day then. Fine, if I happen to be there, I'll ask them.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here.
An open white envelope. More money.
You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal.
Yeah.
I hear there is some trouble with the water lock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a solid socialist.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. You'll be able to track down that car that jumped the river? Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll be able to find Evel Knievel. I wonder if I should bring up the drug trade. I don't think I'll point it at the Union, but I will say I've finished investigating the local drug trade. Maybe we do that.
You've got a lot of spirit clearing up the drug problem alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now, let's talk real business.
Actually, Rivershell doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him. Not even a speck of anger in his voice. That's that then.
Okay, well that didn't rattle him. So maybe he's not involved at all, and it's bad eggs in his department that are doing it. What's in the container outside of your office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbour. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
There's something special about it. It was attached to the crane.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
Yes, let's try to convince the container to open. Can we go over a few details concerning the murder?
Most certainly,
Oh,
Harry.
we've already done all these.
By
There's
your
nothing new.
means, Harry. What's
All right.
on your mind? See
Leaving.
you soon, Debardeur. Just kidding. but not too much.
Mm-hmm. Alright, what have we got then? So we now have the white envelope. Okay. I also have a point I can put into something. I'm earning plenty of XP today. This is the third one. What am I going to put this into, I wonder? Shivers or visual conception? You keep them banked until you need them? I mean, that's a potentially good way to do it as well. I could also use it... Oh, I can't use it to unlock another one of these. Yet. Oh, I can, yeah. Okay. Yeah. With it being red, that threw me off. I'm like, oh, red. Can't do it. Do I want to do any of these, though? Socioeconomics. I'll lose visual calculus, though. Aye. Some people think communism was some crazy idea that had its comeuppance 40 years ago, a fever that shook the world, never to return again. They were right until he woke up today, a spiritual corpse responsive only to the call of Commodore Red, prostitutes, and Krasmazov. For him, communism is still a thing. He will single-handedly raise the commune of O2 from the oceanic trench where it has been resting, covered in ghosts and seaweed. He is the big communism builder. Oh my god, did I not internalize this? This is that one, isn't it? I didn't internalize this. Oh, damn. Then there's the bow collector and the white morning. Yeah, I was going to do this. I thought oh my god, right, okay, well that's... So, here we go. There we go. Spent the XP. I will take the visual calculus hit for now. The 2 signatures forever art. Okay. Let's split the kilo with Kuno. The special borscht. I think I want to go and deal with that now. Let's find out what this was about. What's so special about the borscht the strikers are eating? The cooking the whirling in rags is making it? You can find them in the kitchen. Look into it. I feel like this could be incredibly important, you guys. It might lead to the back room. Plus, I need to use the kitchen when Kim goes to sleep to boil these armored boots and get the scummy, gross shit out of them. Because for people that missed it, that know what I was trying to do, I do have the boots. They're just full of putrid gunk right now, and they're unwearable. But I have them.
These boots were probably left on the corpse because they were impossible to pull off while it was hanging. They're not exactly pleasant to look at right now, much less smell. Hopefully, you will know who they belonged to very soon.
So yeah. What the hell is going on with this game? That's a very good question, Alchemist. Basically, we are... It's like in a sort of an alternate world. We're in like a post-revolutionary micro-state with lots of legal grey areas about who runs it and how and all that kind of stuff. And we're part of a citizens militia. Ooh, he's shaking his head. We are. Don't disagree with me. We're part of a civilian militia who are like a police force, but this guy, Kim Kitsaragi, the partner, he's from another district. We're from a different district from him, and both of their precincts disagree over the jurisdiction in this area, this place called Martinez. But we're basically an amnesiac cop, yeah, in an alternate 1950s-esque setting. And we're investigating a murder, a hanged man, who was found behind a cafe. But when our guy woke up, he didn't know who he was, where he was. He'd been here for several days, he'd made a bit of a mess, caused a bit of a scene, lost all his shit, including his gun and his badge, and met Kim Kitsaragi, who was like, detective, are we going to get on with this or what? Because the corpse was still hanging in the backyard for like nearly a week. And you get to pick all kinds of different weird things, like there are different parts to your internal psyche, if you like These are all your intellect aspects, all of your psychological aspects, physical aspects, and motor aspects. And they will talk to you or give you suggestions or come into play as like skills as you put points into them, and it's really fun. But sometimes they'll get you in deep trouble. This one, the electrochemistry, is basically your drug fascination. This had me licking a bar. It's as soon as we walked past like a countertop that had a rum stain on it, a dried up rum stain. It was like, dude, you should totally lick that rum stain. So I did. And because of that, once I pursued that, it gave me a job. It gave me a new quest. Find booze, drink it. And it opens up all kinds of new little fun ways to do your character. When we questioned where my character lives, like where do I live when I'm not staying at this motel investigating this murder, it opened up a thought that I could work on, like we're doing with the communism one now, and it will give us a bonus when we're done like thinking it through. Opened up Hobo Cop. So we can be a cop who is a hobo. And by finishing that thought, it gave us a learning cap for shivers, which is one of the skills. Our ability to kind of feel the vibe of the streets. And normally we would only be able to raise that to 1 because I only have 1 in physique. It's like these here. But now I could raise it to 6 if I want. So it's really cool. But yeah, we're piecing together the identity. That's right. That's pretty much what Zaras has said. He's explained it much more succinctly than I did. Yeah. And it's in the middle of a dock worker strike. The company has brought like mercenaries in against the negotiators' better judgment, because the dock workers want to be part of the board of executives of the company. So as soon as they heard that, they were like, oh fuck it, send in the strike breakers. But what we do know is these guys, the Hardy Boys as they're called, were probably the ones who did the hanging. They've admitted to it. Even Everart, the union man, has told us, yeah, his guys hanged this guy in the backyard. He was one of the mercenaries. Apparently he got drunk and rowdy in here one night. He even sexually assaulted a woman. He raped her, according to these guys. But there's kind of a bit of disbelief as to whether or not this is just a lie. That was like a lie of convenience to get this guy set up for murder. Or are they into something else? We know they're into like working with the drug dealer as well. And she's the fixer working for the union. She's their lawyer. So yeah, and this is the place where we basically live for the evening. So I want to talk to the cook, because we know that this guy's cooking special borscht. Hey, Urinti, how are you? You're limited to a tweet's worth of info, so you gotta keep it succinct. I wish I could be that succinct talking. You know, I explain things and then I go off on tangents.
Ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
So Leo says you're friends with Manana, is that true?
The mention of Manana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures.
So it's a super dark
he falls
world.
Silent again.
Yeah, it's got some darkness to it. There's some grim stuff going on in this, but there's also some very dark humor about it as well. It's had a hell of a work, plus physiotherapy. Oh dear. I hope you're feeling better after the physio.
They're friends.
Yeah. So this, again, is like, this is our empathy. So occasionally little like passive skill checks will happen to determine whether or not you get a handle on the conversation, the situation you're in. Sometimes you'll fail these and it will give you different, like, failed things that you can say. So yeah, is that borscht you're making?
The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his, and then seems to wait for you to speak.
He knows I don't speak this right. There was a lot of muscle stretching, yeah. I mean, I remember like needing physio for my arm, you know, my hand more than anything else. That was bad, you know, like when I broke my hand years ago, because I broke my knuckle like back in 2005, and just that alone, like, you have to work muscles you didn't know you had in your fingers just to get them moving again. It's like, Jesus, You know, physio can be rough. But it all leads to a good place, hopefully, in the end, you know? Or at least it helps.
I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
Yeah. That's an absolutely good place, yeah. Yeah, dark retro future, kind of, or like alternate retro, or something like this. There's got some retro to it. This guy has a camera. Kim, he has a camera that was like a series of lenses and a plate where he put the photoconductive paper on there. Like, you put literally the photo paper into it, and it was like a Polaroid, but he screwed 2 capsules to it, and then they broke, and the liquid spilled onto the paper, and began making the image. It was like, what? That is so cool. So it was a bit like an instant camera, you know, like an instant development one, like a Polaroid. But if you imagine it being like a little frame with some lenses on it and a piece of paper stuck in it and some ampules with liquid in it, it's like, damn, there's some interesting stuff goes on in this game. Alright, so do we say yes and nod, or no and shake head, or Mercury rising? Run your fingers through your hair. I could say something cool.
Porsche need more vodka?
Aha! Vodka! Yeah, the cars are cool as well, yeah.
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Yeah, they'll literally just like put it, just, you know, vodka in borscht, and a guy is running it to the Union guys to keep them fed and happy while they're striking.
Of course.
We should have known.
Vodka. Now that makes a very, very special borscht indeed. Turn it up and then ask for some yourself. Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
Yeah, do we want to turn up the vodka and see? Because here's the situation we've learned today in the stream, on today's stream, is that the other 2 mercenaries who were sent here by the company are now looking into who killed their commander, the guy who got hanged, and when they find that out, they're going to just kill them people. It's either going to be 1 or several people are going to get straight up executed. And when that happens, the Union's going to be they're just going to explode. It's going to be like, oh, fuck this, we're on, you know, and it's going to become a fight. And then the company are probably going to bring in more mercenaries, and they're just going to, you know, slaughter every dock worker. Yeah. That's it, and they have completely bulletproof armor and semi-automatics. You know what's getting me though, Zaras? Again, when we spoke to the Hardy Boys in the last stream, the guy was like, yeah, I went up and I knocked him out, just elbow to the back of the head, but we know he had a helmet on. And if this is like fully, you know, today when Joyce was saying, oh yeah, their armor, it's practically impenetrable, like no bullets can pierce it, hand to hand, forget about it. You can't hurt these people. And it's like, how the fuck did they knock this guy out? You know, it does not add up. Yeah, because we know Kuno said, fucking Kuno, he told us that he had to like take the helmet off when the guy was hanging. He went up there and like ripped the helmet off his head, and then tried it on himself and said it was too big, and then said he kicked it into the sea. You know, so it's like, yeah, something not adding up there. I think this guy was poisoned, or I think this guy was knocked out with some kind of like overdose of sedatives or something. Maybe that's why he was acting loopy. Maybe they drugged him, waited for him to pass out, and then they hanged him. They didn't even tie his hands or feet together, because there's no bruises around his wrists and ankles. And then, you know, they hanged the guy, and it's like there's no evidence of him trying to get his hands up to free himself, like around the neck. Then you would see additional bruises where the knuckles are digging into like the jawline and so on, trying to get under the rope and like pull themselves up. So it's like the guy was unconscious. They even carried him there. We know that because his footprints aren't present at the scene. Interesting theory. Yeah, that's my theory for now. Something like that happened. At the very least, this guy was already pre-incapacitated and they didn't need to do it. That's what I'm thinking. Do we cut the... Oh, we don't want to cut the vodka. That will cause even more problem. But fuck it, turn it up.
He smiles, nodding vigorously.
Oh, this could go bad.
Pours half a bottle of vodka into the pot.
Yeah.
With a whistle, he stirs the brew.
Yeah, get that vodka in there. I mean, it could just put a few of them to sleep. So could I have some of the brew?
He smiles and nods enthusiastically.
Oh, my boy.
And, chattering away in his language, ladles some brew into a small thermal cup.
Let's not tell this guy that once he goes to bed, I'm going to boil the corpse boots in his pot. We can use that pot there to clean the corpse stuff. Let's have a look. What have I got? Oh my god. I got the brew. I have uses of it. It gives me physique and -1 morale. Oh god. Oh, okay. I'll hold on to that for now. Still need to boil the boots? Deja vu? Yeah, because we didn't get the boots off until nighttime. I didn't know how to deal with them until you told me that or someone told me anyway, that I could hold down right mouse button to see the highlightable zones, and then I saw the pot, but it was daytime and Kim's with us. So it's like, shit, I can't boil the boots. Alright, do we want to talk to the Hardy Boys and tell them that we're working for Everart now? I guess we probably do while we're here. Let's have a look. We've got booze now. We can complete this. Investigate the doomed commercial area. I kind of want to do that still. Send the victim's body away. Smoker on the balcony we need to get to, but we couldn't get into the buildings still. I'll give it a day. I'll try going again the next day. We still need to ask around about the tattoos. I don't know if I want to ask the guy at the Right to Work protest, who we know for definite is definitely one of the other security guys, one of the other mercs, basically masquerading. But yeah, we need to wash the boots. We need to check back with Alice tomorrow for the armor's owner, but we know his code name, but I've forgotten what it was. I couldn't give a shit. And we need to explore the secret passage. Well, okay then. This had nothing to do with this. The water locks tomorrow. We still need to find out who else has unauthorized access to the trash and tampered with the scene. But that said could take a while. Trying to track down the gun and the badge. Keep searching for the... Oh yeah, that's right. Also, we know Sylvie didn't call in the crime. That again might take some time. And we need to sing karaoke. Got a bunch of that stuff. Let me speak to her. We know her name now.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Are you the hardy girl? Gotta play Dark Heresy now. See you later, Wolf and chat. No problem, Zaris. Enjoy the game, dude. Take care. Have a good one.
I am not.
Nah, she's not the hardy girl.
You could be Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Oh wow, Glenn's got the hots for you.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
Yes, she's a model attorney. A model of the law.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
Yeah, get a grip, Glenn. She went to law school.
So fucking what? Lots of models are actually really smart people, fuckwad.
Yeah, so she went to law school, though. She doesn't want to be a model. She wants to be a lawyer.
No, Glenn, they aren't.
Oh, wow. Okay, Liz, I've got to stop you right there because, you know, that is just false, but okay.
This didn't change her opinion of
Oh, come on.
It's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Definitely.
Yeah. So are you Elizabeth, Miss Beaufort?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes. In the way she stands. In her face.
Easy, Leo told me about you. He likes to talk a lot.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men.
Man, that didn't really go anywhere.
Look, the insane police officer is back.
Nah, I'm pretty sane now. I found my coat.
The small man mimes, blowing his brains out. You see his rat face contorted in mock despair, his fingers touching his temple. There's laughter in the room. Try not to kill yourself this time.
Yes, suggestion. I will try. We still can't establish authority, but let's see. I talked to Joyce. The merc you hanged, his friends are coming for you. I don't know if we should tip him off or not. Would this be a good idea? I think I definitely want to be on the Union side rather than on the company side, but still. But guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade, jackass. No. Me and Everett talked. He promised you'd cooperate.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it, lawman?
Titus, could you speak up, please? You're really quiet.
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You gonna go and tell on us?
Yeah. Push me some more and find out, Gimp. Maybe I'll shoot myself again. I would never tell on someone. I'm very mature, guys. Everett sent the word, right?
Yeah, I heard him. The fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word. Let me state this very clearly, capo. Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy, and these are my boys, Hardy boys. How may we assist you?
That's better.
But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
Let's talk about the hangman again.
Again, just get the dead guy's autograph, since you're his biggest fan.
Good one, Titus.
Alright.
About fucking time.
Alright, talk to Joyce. The mercs are you hanged. His friends are coming for you.
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Crenell.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
Alright, they're forming a tribunal and they are going to come for you.
This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands. Other people start doing it too.
Yep, listen to Kim.
Let them come. The Hardy boys are right fucking here.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us, and Glenn. Glenn is fucking crazy.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
Well, Glenn will be a dead crazy person when the other guys get here. Yeah, did you know that a single giant hornet can kill 40 bees a minute?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
You're the bees, they're the hornets.
We're not bees. We're men. We're socialists.
You are going to be dead socialist men bees.
Easy, E. He's trying to phase you. What are you trying to do? Scare my men?
But this Crenell is bad news, you should know that, right?
So are the local gangs. The fucking Barmy Army. And the Madre scum. You've been out there. Seen any around?
In the Madre guys that you're doing drug deals with, yeah.
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
Really? Because I'm pretty sure that one of their people is here working with you.
These people are trained military professionals. Special forces, as you said. They're not a gang or a barmy army.
No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. We know more about them than you think.
They're armed with automatic weapons.
We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home.
Well, if he's got that, I guess you're alright then. No, will they pierce ceramic armor?
I guess we're gonna see, aren't we?
You're going to see that they won't.
That was an unsure phrasing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go. See what? That they don't?
Yeah. Like you've been up against ceramic armor.
Have you?
You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing, and it didn't make him immortal.
Well, Joyce says they've gone rogue and nobody's controlling them.
Big fucking surprise. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loose in the city. What do you think is gonna happen?
Okay.
What do you mean, okay?
I mean, okay, they're gonna wipe you the fuck out, Titus, or okay, you got this, you got the numbers, or, I mean, okay, I'll be on your side when they come, or, I mean, okay, you got one more gun on your side. Once I find mine, I lost it. Or, okay, I guess I'll be gunning you down right alongside them. Ooh. No, they're going to wipe you the fuck out, Titus, okay?
No, they won't. Get out of here with your negative energy.
All he means is that the situation is serious.
No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? In the meantime, I've connected you to the local drug trade.
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 Kilos.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grâce?
Oh, please.
No, the thunder is his. Leave it to the lieutenant.
No, he takes all the glory. You're right, there's no local drug trade except you, points at Titus. Or no, you do the honor, you've earned it, he hasn't. Or back off. Alright, I'll let him do it. I don't know what that's going to do, because it's not just Titus, it's all of them. They were all present. Or maybe these guys are also not clued in on that. And it's just him and this woman. Alright, I'll let the lieutenant do this. We want to play this right.
Thank you. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade, because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
I have arrived, you can finish the stream now. Funny you should mention that, Vargas. No, I'm only joking.
Yeah, man.
Welcome back.
Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course.
Admitting to poisoning his own people and profiting. People are always going to do drugs, at least this way you have a control over it. Keep telling yourself that. I know for a fact there are plenty of drugs out there. No, this is disgusting. You're admitting to profiting off poisoning your own people.
Boo fucking who. People will always be taking drugs. Might as well do it clean and organized.
Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean and organized. And the Hardy Boys are running it.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself.
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy boys here.
The 8th Hardy, the one who's missing, she runs the thing, right?
My answer is fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene.
No, you're the 8th Hardy's bitch.
Finally, you got something out of him. This could prove useful in the future.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know! Fatty walked on all 4s. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all 4s. Anything else you need to know?
I have a 28% chance on this authority now. Because we confronted him on the drug trade, cooperation, the 8th Hardy warned him about the tribunal. Alright, let's try this again. Fingers crossed, guys.
This time it's going to work. You already ruled out the first bad option that didn't.
Oh no. Kim, give me your gun again. No. First you tell me someone's been raped and then you don't say who. That's bullshit. Stomp your feet. Alright, that's all I got.
Well, the rest of that Nancy stuff was really just there to make the gun thing more appealing. But it might work anyway.
Alright, let's do the whole stomping feet.
Stop shitting your pants. You don't need to know, all right? We took care of it. The law handled it.
I am the law!
Yeah. Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
Yeah, they were not the law. I'm the law. Maybe I'm not the law after all. To yourself, maybe everyone's been lying to me. No, I'm the law.
For God's sake, stop shouting! Stop breaking things in my establishment! Stop provoking those oafs!
Shut up, God! Fuck you!
They're not going to give you anything, can't you see? I can't have a police interrogation in here. People are trying to eat.
Shut up, barman!
What is your...
Easy, babes. What is this? I can't have a slap fight in my bar. It's embarrassing.
We are deep in Far's territory. We need to cool off and re-engage later.
Everyone can see you picked some wrong options. Next time you have to come up with better things to say.
I did what I was supposed to do. Alright, fine. Fucking God, I'm gonna come over there and smack you up, boy. Shut your face. Official policeman doing policey things. Seriously. Alright. We're probably not going to find any of the arm pieces here. They're probably across the bay. We still need to do this. Place the lost bull. Heraldic bird. Find booze and drink. I mean, we have some. I also have another level up. How far on are we in that? Not very far. Do I want to put it in something else in here? I mean, I could just put a point in authority. Thing is, as well, if I took the clipboard off, I would probably have a much better time of it. But it's the point that we're going to go for low authority, so I'm going to put it in visual calculus. There we go. I'm an investigating machine. Let's see if we can get into the smoker's place again. Maybe we can knock on that door and get through the apartments. We've already spoken to her up there as well. She's not really useful.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building.
Yeah,
this
it's
could
locked.
be a way into the apartment building the smoking man vanished into.
If I'd have put the point into authority, I could have tried this again at least. Oh well.
The door rattles again.
Stop banging on the door. I'm not letting any more strangers inside.
Who am I speaking to?
Doesn't matter who I am. Now go on, get out of here.
We are the police, though.
Ha! The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
I'm not joking.
No, I already told you. Go check the backyard door.
Backyard door with the smoker. You
Alright. So we need a point in authority to actually open that up. I mean, we know we can't get through that door. That's just permanently locked. Oh, right. I was going to come back here and do this. We're going in. I'm going to have a look in the place we unlocked. Now that Everart's given us the information, we can do this. Because I'm sneaky like that. What have we got here? Take the magnesium. There is a suitcase. Full of clothes. Guests are staying over? Question mark. A book titled The Hidden World of Walking Sticks. Oh. I almost feel the warmth of the red sun on the flag.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty.
What's with the sun?
This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle.
And what is the sevenfold sun miracle?
It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
Cool.
It is but one of the many strange optic atmospheric phenomenon of this wondrous archipelago. You're sure you once saw sundogs in your youth, and blue flares.
Cool. The old flag of the suzerain.
Mm-hmm. The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means very right.
Really? Bow down before the flag or don't? Don't, because if this is a very right-wing thing, that's not my thing.
The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colourful fabric with a sun sewn.
The flag is not perturbed.
Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing.
Mm-hmm. Whoever lives here admired fair-haired fantasy heroes with big muscles. Oh! A shirt! A shirt. Okay. You know what? That will give me logic. I'm gonna wear it. That's good. Well then, we're looking pretty sharp now. What else have I got in my inventory? No. Okay. What are these?
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others.
Alright, tap on the mugs.
A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn.
Let me guess, they're just caricature mugs, they're just more racist mugs, like the one we have in our inventory from the dumpster.
The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures.
Mm-hmm. What do I mean uncomfortable?
The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much.
Okay, typical arsehole then.
This person is unhappy.
Fuck him.
The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Whip out the yellow man mug and compare. No, let's leave the mugs. The mugs can go to hell. In fact, I kind of want to break one of the mugs. Yeah. Well, that's all we did then. There was nothing in here. No good, relevant intel at all. That's a shame. But hey, if that person is going to get set up now because they're a snitch, then, yeah, well, fuck them. See if I care. We can talk to Joyce still. We haven't been back to Joyce yet. Still have a little bit of time before we have to tuck Kim into bed.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Okay, I've talked to Everard Clare.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
He's a beautiful man. And, you know, he's just as well. No. He's a hero of the workers' movement. He's a champion I've sworn fealty to. He's a bloated rainbow socialist. I can do business with him. For a socialist, he's reasonable. Not the champion I have chosen. I wish to swear fealty to you and the cause of the capital. It's not important if I liked him. I was doing my job. I'll say I can do business with him. I don't want to, like, just basically flat out poke her in the eye or anything.
Of course. He must have his practical uses. How else could he have kept his position all these years? Or wait, actually, he could have kept it with corruption. Fantastic, worm-like corruption. That reaches into the bowels of the earth.
Yes, because again, you know, people in your company have never done anything corrupt to keep their positions of power.
The RCM does not pick sides in this, madame. I hope it doesn't come off any other way.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt worm myself.
She likes that word, worm.
However, if you felt like discussing something...
Would you like to discuss worms?
How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
Well, they did say that we could talk to her about anything, but again, is that one of these tests where he's like, uh-oh, you actually did that? Oh no. Well, I helped him turn up the heat on the borscht.
Did you now? What sort of borscht is he making?
Keeps the strikers drunk to help them strike.
The strike brew. That's a classic. And by turn up the heat, I presume you mean put more alcohol in it?
Yes, because that would be good.
Why, if I may ask?
Because it would be good.
Why make them more drunk? Aren't they corked enough already?
Yes, Detective. What were you hoping to accomplish with this strange thing?
My goals are beyond your understanding, Kim. An act born of sympathy for the working man, I set fire to the fumes of struggle. I worship Al Ghul in many ways. It's uninteresting. I thought it would make the broth taste better. Yes, it would have an impact on the flavour. That's all it was. No, sympathy for the working man.
Very curious. A very curious thing to do.
Truly. But that's how he operates. He just does things, man. And then talks about them. Even if it's inappropriate.
Well, yes.
A strange equanimity has overtaken the lieutenant. He's just going with the flow now. Easier that way.
Yeah, he's just become a dead fish. He's like, fuck it, I'm just going with the current.
What else?
He asked me to open the door.
A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that.
No, I mean like a door to a house.
Oh my. A real door?
An actual door, yes.
The lieutenant does not say anything, but you hear the nylon of his jacket rustle as he looks at you.
It was useful to the case. We got information.
That's good to hear, Detective. Police work is rarely pretty, but it sounds like you did what you had to do.
Plus, we just recently found out the guy's just a racist arsehole, so if he gets, like, found in the harbour, floating face down, not a sad day.
Her bartering mind cannot fathom that you didn't ask anything in return.
Frankly,
I got information.
What was done was not pretty at all, but neither was it illegal, and it was not for nothing. I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight.
So Everett says the Wild Pine sent mercenaries to the Union and now one is dead. Well, we already know that from her. She told us this before Everett did, that this was one of her security detail. So Everett asked the Union's militant wing to fully cooperate with the investigation. He did. I told him about the mercenary tribunal. He didn't seem worried. I mean, that's superfluous. This one, the Union's wing, I don't know if I want to tell them that because we don't know that yet. It's like they're taking a dive or they're covering something up. And they're willing to step into the line of fire to do it. So something else is clearly scaring them to do that. But yeah, he's asked the militant wing to cooperate.
How benevolent. Hopefully they'll help you sort this whole business out, if they haven't already.
While we appreciate your assistance, ma'am, I'm afraid we can't discuss the specifics of an ongoing investigation with you.
That is only fair.
Yeah, I've said all I can.
Well,
Kim's
I
here.
hope it yields something. Otherwise, you'll have opened that door for naught. Anything else?
Yeah, they didn't seem worried about this tribunal.
Brinkmanship or saber rattling? Was he surrounded by Union men he wanted to impress?
No, he was just in his weird little container.
No, it was more like he wanted things to get worse.
Yeah.
In secret, of course.
So he's either alone and sure of keeping things in control, trying to wasn't trying to impress anyone. I think he wants things to escalate, or you're right, he's probably just showing off to me. He wants to impress me as the superstar hobo cop that I am. No. He wasn't impressing anyone. He wants things to escalate.
Or he wants you and me to believe he wants to go to war.
Maybe that.
Of course, brinkmanship takes showmanship. We should have seen it before, in his office. He might well have been performing for us.
It is possible.
There's always that risk, ma'am. But if I may offer my opinion, he means it.
I mean, dramas maybe just being drama, thinking like, well, it's all drama, everything's drama. So he might have meant it.
I'll think it over, Detective.
We need her to feel that way anyway.
Thank you for relaying this information to me.
Because at the very least, if she feels that way, it's like, oh shit. And she wants to avoid the massacre.
This gave her pause. She's pensive, suddenly. Hard to say about what. Have I underestimated the Union's ferocity? She has to ask herself by now.
Alright, I'm not going to tell her the other stuff. That's all I've got to say.
What you've said is quite enough. You've given me a lot to consider, and may have helped me prevent this conflict from escalating.
Hear that, hero? Feels good, doesn't it?
Hell yeah.
You should relay confidential information more often.
Hell yeah, we should. Wait, what? We deliver an envelope?
Sounds like he has you running errands, Detective. A well-established dominance ritual. Where did he have you deliver it?
To a nameless settlement down the coast nearby.
Ah, yes. I've been meaning to go there.
Oh, really?
With longing. Clear and simple longing. Strange. Why does she want to go there?
You're quite fond of the village, aren't you?
I should be. In my youth, I had a brief dalliance here in Martinez.
Oh.
He was an older man with impossibly broad shoulders. He's probably dead by now. Even his shack is long gone. Not that it matters. These buildings are all carbon copies of one another.
So you've been to Martinez before?
Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine.
Oh.
We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. My paramour certainly did not.
Sounds like you missed those times.
Not overly so. It's not like this was the only place we visited. Me and my girlfriends from Azon with our shiny boats. Like reavers. We told ourselves we were the worst thing to happen to the coast since the Coalition landed in '08. Imagine.
Oh yes, watch out, the girls are in town.
She's sentimental, all right. You don't know enough about her to find out why exactly. She will keep her secrets for now.
Well, he wants to build a youth centre here for the children of Martinez.
A youth centre with Edgar Clare's statue on top of it.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Go ahead. Help him. Make it so. I have no power to stop him.
So you're sad you can't buy the place?
Yes. I'm sad I'll never have the time, Detective. I've always wanted a dilapidating fishing village.
She is more defensive about it than usual.
Yeah.
Full of ghosts and ancient memories. Has this errand yielded you any information?
Well, not yet. We need to get over there.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later, down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
Alright, we're done. Okay, so we've had a good chat with her again. I don't think there's anything else we can specifically do for now, other than read the book. I wonder if I can talk to her again. What else does she have?
Hello again, officers.
The skull.
Have you come to admire my mural?
Oh, the armor. Does she know anything about the armor?
What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells?
Isn't armor art? Art for the body?
Ugh, alright.
Yeah.
Sad piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Looked cute as hell.
In the fishing village, like across the bay, where we're going?
If you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down the coast from the main plaza. Have a good time.
Alright, and there's a little girl wearing the gloves there.
No. That's all the snitching Cindy the Skull does for today. Actually, I don't even know why I told you what I just told you. I have a weakness for animals. It's the animal thing again. Damn it.
Or a weakness for police officers, miss. Thank you either way.
Or animal police officers. Oh, cool. So, got a little bit of something out of that. Shop's shut for the day. Drunk's gone. The old men playing games have turned in. Oh, and the dude's gone now as well. I wonder if I can do anything with the door. Probably not still.
You see a heavy steel door with...
Yeah, I know it's well guarded. We can't do anything with it. So we know the armored gloves are probably across in the village. We'll have to go there tomorrow. Have a look at this. Can I do anything with this?
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesa. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Why antlers?
Because white antlers are one of the symbols of communism. They represent a society in accord with the natural world and at the same time above it.
And why Fricel?
Because Fricel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see.
Ah, flip through the pages.
To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white.
That's boring.
After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections: international developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Read the note.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée, unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel. La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers.
Only 4 issues in and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. Fantastic.
So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Kim, I think this is a communist magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
International developments.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border. Something about bear wrestling in Samara.
Ooh, bear wrestling.
Riots in Yugograd. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are. You flip back to the front of the magazine.
Kunst und Kultur.
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture.
Why they decided to title this section In the World Is Beyond You.
It evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. The Tip Top Tournée is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. In Revachol, it's held quadrennially on the prestigious Zero Carousel racing circuit.
Profiles?
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
Let's see what the communists have to say about Tip Top.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée.
What's wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically.
that's literally it. That's motorsports right there. It's bad about the sponsorships.
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tourney becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a Frita.
Right, but then you get to see them crash.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
You're right, I am in it just for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tourney is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Kim, did you know that Tip Top Tourney is actually an organistic ritual of capitalist destruction? I had no idea.
I can safely say the thought had never crossed my mind, Detective.
You should read more, Kim. It's opening my mind. I wonder what else is really just a metaphor for life under capitalism.
I'm sure most things are, if the young men who wrote this article are to be believed. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Local concerns.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike.
Well, obviously.
You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
I mean, that's kind of why people get evicted. I went for Wild Pines, blah blah blah. Charging someone rent just to live somewhere is outrageous. Wouldn't it be better for everyone if Labour and capital could reach some reasonable accommodation? No, it's outrageous.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution, so long as it's only redistributed upward. It's true, the rentiers have been bleeding you dry. You really ought to find your own place one of these days.
And get away from this capitalist over here with his bird, his capitalist bird, taking 20 reals a day just to sleep.
You flip back to the front of the magazine.
Alright, put that away. That's it. Man, the drivel people read these days, my goodness. Alright guys, it's warm as hell in my room, so I'm gonna leave it there for the day.